Hi guys, and welcome back to part 2 of crocheting your kitty. Now that we got him a little stuffied up, back to the pattern. We should have 24 single crochet now. You can count it. I would definitely recommend counting it because you will need 24 going forward. I'm going to get those linked and I'm just gonna do a chain 1. Now we're just going to return to the frenzy of single crochet, 4 rows of 24 single crochet. So just do 24, your slip stitch, chain 1, just repeat that 4 times. It should start looking something like this. I am just now getting to the point where I'm going to start on the legs, and to do that we're going to be working in halves like we did with the arms. So I'm going to turn. Again, I've always got that slip stitch chain up because unless I say otherwise, that's what it is. We're gonna be splitting this entirely in half, so it's gonna be 12 for one leg, 12 for the other. So do 12 single crochet. Once you got your 12 in your chain 1, we're going to single crochet 12 back, chain 1, turn back. Now we're going to be combining it down to 9 single crochets. So to do that, we're going to decrease every 3rd and 4th. So we're going to start with a decrease. So there's 1 decrease. Go 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 are joined together. Again, 1, 2, 3 and 4 are joined together, and then 2 single crochet on the end. Now that you've done that row, we are going to single crochet 9 all the way across for 1 row, chain 1, turn. Now we're going to decrease down to 6 single crochet by doing every other decrease. So decreasing the first 2 together, 1 single, decrease the next 2 together, then a single. So it's just every other is a decrease. Oop. Oop, there it is. Okay. Chain 1, turn. And we're gonna single crochet 6 across here. Chain 1, turn. Now we're gonna increase again. So we're gonna go back to the 9. Doubling up every other, starting with the first one. So 2, chain 1 and turn. Now that we've got 9, we're going to crochet 9. All right, once you've got your 9 all the way across, you are going to increase it now to 12. Doubling every 3rd. So 2 singles in between each double. Now that we've got what should be 12 single crochet, we are going to, got that chain stitch going, we are going to crochet back 12 single all the way across. All right, now that we have our 12 across, we are going to start with the decreases every 3. So pull up a loop, 2 and 3, and then we're going to pull through those 3 loops together to decrease it down. It's called an invisible decrease stitch. Moving on to the next one, 1, 2, 3, and pull through those 3 loops on there. 1, 2, 3, pull through those 3. 1, 2, 3, and pull through those 3 with that back loop. So you may have to twist your hook around just to give you better leverage on that. Chain 1, turn back. You should have 4 single crochet. It's a lot easier to see if you're working with a different type of yarn. The velvet yarn makes it really hard, but you will just pick up all of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, You should have 5 hooks on there. Pull through all the 4. And then chain 1. And now you can see that we've got our little leg. And this is what it's starting to look like. It's starting to look like a little kitty, huh? Like a little snowman person still. Okay. Now, this is the part where, again, you can slip stitch down one side of it and continue on with the pattern. Or if you've got some fuzzy yarn that you're working with, just stitch it up with a slip stitch and you don't have to go back and sew it later. So then all you have to sew is the tail and the ears on. And that's what I'm gonna do. You wanna make sure at the very least that you count to see that you have 12 stitches around here, just so you know which one to start out with. My 12 starts right there. Single crochet 12 across. Chain 1 and turn back. Now you're gonna do 12 single crochet for another round. Okay, once you're done with the 12, we're gonna always start with the chain 1 and then we're going to decrease it down to 9. So decrease the first 2 together. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 2. 1, 2, and then decrease the next set together. Single crochet in the next 2. So it's decreasing every 3rd and 4th. Oh. Decrease and then singles. Oh, did I get that chain on? Okay. That should leave you with 9 single crochet and you will do 9 singles all the way back. Chain 1 and turn back. Now we're going to be decreasing it back to 6. Remember, decreasing the first 2 together, and then every other stitch will be a single. There's a single. Back to stitching 2 together, then a single, 2 together, and another single. That should leave you with 6 single crochet and then you'll just crochet singles all the way across. Once you got your 6, we're going back to the 9. So increasing on this, doubling the first and every other. So then a single, then a double, 1, 2, single, 1, 2, and single. Chain 1, turn back. Now we're going to crochet 9 across. Chain 1, turn back. Now we're increasing to 12, so double the first and every 3rd. At the end of that row, we're turning back and we're single crocheting all the way across. Now that we've got all those 12, we're going to decrease down to 4. So inserting into 3, single crochet, pulling up on the loops till you have 4, pulling through the front 3, the first 3. So insert, pull up on the first one, on the second one, on the third one, 4 loops, pull through 3, insert, pull up on all 3, and then pull through 3, and one more time. Chain 1, turn back. Now we are going to do the same thing for all 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We should have 5 loops on there, and we're going to pull through 4 and chain 1. Now this is the part where sometimes it's easy to forget we have not stuffed this portion of our wonderful kitty. So stop what you're doing and finish your stuffing before you close him up, and it really stinks after that to try to stuff him. And you can't stuff them anymore unless you undo it all. So stop and stuff. Stop and stuff, who knew? Okay, now I'm gonna start closing him up halfway through before I finish it, and then I'll finish stuffing this. So returning the hook, pulling it back, and doing a slip stitch down. Alright, I haven't gone all the way down, but I think I've gone far enough that I can finish stuffing his leg. Back to the stitches. Alright, we are going to finish our slip stitch all the way down. And then once you've got it stitched up pretty good, you can kind of move your stuffing around as you need. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off a little ways. We're gonna pull it out all the way through, tighten that up. And if you want at this point, you can go back and stitch any imperfections. I've got a little pucker opening right there and maybe right there. So I may just stitch around till I get right here and kind of close those pieces up. So once I get it like I like it, I'm going to tie it. And I'm just going to insert it back into the little guy and pull it out on the side. Pull that tight and cut him off. To make the tail, you're going to start out by creating 13 chain stitches. And then in the second chain back, we are going to do slip stitches all the way down. Insert it. Pull through both those loops, no single crochet, it's just gonna be a slip stitch. Once you get down to the end, you can cut it off, pull it through, and now we're just gonna tie this on to our little guy. I'm just gonna take one of those yarn pieces, insert it through the needle, and then fish it through. And with the fuzzy yarn, you don't really have to worry about hiding anything, so I'm just gonna double tie this. And then I'll weave both of these in through the body. And we can just cut them off. Now we're moving on to creating the ears. Do the slip knot. And then we're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to then skip the first chain and chain 2 singles into each of those single crochet. So we're just doubling up what's already there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. My hands feel really sweaty. Chain 1 and turn back. All right, after you get 4, we are going to double single crochet into every other or every second. Chain 1, turn back. Now we're gonna double every third starting with the first one. Turn back. Now we're gonna double every fourth. One, 2, 1, 2, 3, and double the fourth, 3 singles, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, turn back. Now we're doubling every fifth starting with the first one. Chain 1, turn back. Now we're doubling every sixth starting with the first one. Chain 1, turn back. Doubling every seventh. So starting with the first, we're going to double it and then double every seventh. We're going to double every eighth starting with the first. Okay, once you have this ready to go. And you chained one. You can just make sure that you got quite a bit of a tail because we are actually going to use this to stitch it onto the kitty cat. I'm just going to cut a really long tail, and then if I have to sacrifice some, I will. I'm not afraid of using a little bit extra yarn. I'm going to pull it all the way through. Do 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 do. And then with this tail piece that you've got, you can stitch up this side of the ear. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm just gonna double tie the end piece that we just cut off to the one that we were weaving in. I'm gonna double tie that. And then I will go ahead and take this little guy. I'm gonna poke through here, and I want it sitting on the inside. So I'm just gonna weave it back through underneath, so whenever I go to hide it, it doesn't want to pop out. And there we go. Okay, well, I think this looks cute. What do you think? So now that we have got our little ears, my little ear figured out, tiny little ear, you should have 18 stitches. You can count them up, it's 18. And we are gonna stuff it, but before, we're gonna need to still make the other ear. So the other ear is the exact same process. For ear number 2, you can either read these rows, just pause here, work through it really quick, or you can rewind and watch again. All right, now that we got this situated, I do have 2 needles, so I'm gonna use this one to hold it while I try to stitch it together to the best of my abilities. And if you still have this little divider in here, if you don't and you never had one, that's fine. Just kind of try to look for the middle most. You can use the nose as a reference. The middlemost, you want to put the ear, obviously, right near the middle. And then you can just start inserting it and doing your best. I don't think the first ear is as difficult as the second, actually, because the second one you're trying to match whatever happened with the first one. So it's a little bit more intimidating, I think. All right, now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and secure it with a tie. And then I'm just gonna push it through. And cut it off. On to the next one. Little puffy. That is the complete tutorial for our kitty cat, Amigurumi Kitty Cat. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. I would love to see anything that someone has created. If you want to link your Instagram or Facebook or whatever you've got going on, I'd love to check it out. Thanks again.